Parmesan, for food lovers, it is the pinnacle of Italian flavors. But for those concerned with animal rights, each rich, savory slice carries a thorny ethical question, as the life of a young calf still silently plays a role in the traditional production process, a truth few are aware of. And yet, every year, nearly 200,000 tons of Parmesan are produced, amounting to millions of giant cheese wheels neatly stacked in aging cellars like golden treasures at the heart of Italy. This journey begins with pure, fresh milk from mother cows and a special rennet extracted from the stomachs of calves. Each element enters a strict production process, blending the artistry of skilled hands with modern technology to create a culinary icon admired around the world. Today, join Agriculture Insight as we step into the heart of Italy, where legendary Parmesan factories and aging cellars do more than craft cheese. They preserve a heritage written with passion, craftsmanship, and untold stories. If mozzarella is as soft as a flowing stream and cheddar as rich as melting fat, then Parmesan stands like a crystal of time, solid, profound, and enduring. To craft a single 40-kilogram wheel of Parmesan, it takes more than 500 liters of fresh milk and at least 1 year of silent aging, under strict control from ingredients to temperature. Parmesan crumbles in the mouth, releasing its signature burst of rich umami, packed with protein, calcium, and naturally almost free of lactose. So concentrated that just a small amount provides as much protein as a full glass of milk and more calcium than a slice of lean beef. Parmesan is not just cheese. It is milk, time, and the essence of nature, compressed into every small golden shard. Few people know that in the Emilia-Romagna region, certified wheels of Parmesan are even used as collateral for bank loans, treated like real gold. A single wheel can be worth thousands of euros, and its value only grows with time. Among the thousands of cheeses in the world, only Parmesan holds the prestige to be considered a financial asset. So if you could choose just one, would it be Parmesan, cheddar, or mozzarella? In the early mornings across Emilia-Romagna, as the sunlight gently touches the endless green fields, farmers begin harvesting fresh grass, a nutrient-rich source of feed prepared daily for their cows. At the same time, the cows roam freely across natural pastures, leisurely grazing and enjoying a life of freedom, peace, and comfort. This careful care and ideal living environment are what lay the foundation for producing pure, fresh milk, the very beginning of the journey to create the legendary Parmesan wheels. At the farm, the cows live in a comfortable, clean, and safe environment. They rest in spacious barns, equipped with automatic misting systems to help cool them down during the summer heat. Many farms even install rotating massage brushes, allowing cows to walk up and enjoy a good scratch and muscle relaxation after long hours of grazing. The cows are also bathed regularly to keep their skin clean, lower their body temperature, and prevent skin diseases. Each animal follows a routine health check schedule, from monitoring body temperature and nutrition to testing milk quality, all to ensure the cows remain healthy, comfortable, and content. A key moment in the farming cycle is when a cow gives birth to a calf after about 9 months of pregnancy. The newborn calf is cared for separately and fed colostrum in the first few days to build natural immunity through vital antibodies. After the calf has finished nursing, the mother cow enters a regular milking cycle, twice a day. Before milking, the udder is washed with warm water to remove dirt, stimulate natural milk flow, and quickly inspect each teat for early signs of issues such as swelling, inflammation, or discoloration, the first indicators of mastitis. A healthy cow typically produces around 25 to 30 liters of milk per day, although output can vary depending on weather conditions, diet, and the postpartum stage. If milking is delayed or performed incorrectly, cows can experience painful udder engorgement, leading to stress and a significant drop in milk yield. Meanwhile, after about 2 to 3 months, calves are weaned and separated from their mothers. Healthy female calves continue to be raised to become the next generation of dairy cows. In contrast, male calves, or those that do not meet breeding standards, are typically sent to slaughterhouses, where their young stomachs are collected to produce natural rennet, an essential enzyme used in the traditional milk coagulation process for making authentic Parmesan cheese. Returning to the stream of fresh milk from the mother cows, the first precious ingredient in the journey to create legendary Parmesan. The moment the milk is drawn, it immediately enters a race against temperature and bacteria. Fresh milk is extremely sensitive. Within just a few hours at room temperature, bacteria begin to multiply rapidly, altering its quality, flavor, and nutritional value. To prevent this, farms use rapid cooling systems. Once collected, the milk is channeled directly into sealed stainless steel tanks and quickly cooled to around 4 degrees Celsius, the ideal temperature to preserve its natural enzymes, freshness, and rich nutritional content. And now, let's move on to the most anticipated part, where streams of fresh milk begin their magical transformation into the legendary wheels of Parmesan. As soon as the milk arrives at the dairy, it is directed straight into massive copper vats, timeless symbols of the Parmesan craft, because copper conducts heat quickly and evenly, allowing for absolute temperature control, a critical factor in ensuring the proper structure and quality of the Parmesan curd, and gently heated to around 33 to 35 degrees Celsius. This is the golden temperature, precisely calculated to trigger natural coagulation while preserving the milk's precious microbial structure. Next, the cheesemaker adds chymosin, the only enzyme permitted under traditional methods, extracted from the stomach of a young calf. This enzyme causes the proteins in the milk to bind together, forming a smooth, dense curd, the foundation of Parmesan's firm and distinctive texture. At this stage, precision is everything. With Parmesan, even a 1-minute delay or a slight deviation in temperature is enough to ruin the entire batch, and the whole vat must be discarded. By strict standards, each vat produces exactly 2 wheels of Parmesan, with the enzyme stirring time tightly controlled between 10 and 12 minutes, all within an obsessively narrow temperature range. After the chymosin enzyme is added and gently stirred in, the milk begins to coagulate into a soft curd. At this stage, the cheesemaker uses a spino, a traditional wire tool, to cut the curd into uniform, rice-sized granules. Proper cutting helps separate the whey more efficiently and allows control over the cheese's moisture content from the start, a key factor in determining its firmness and aging potential. The cutting and heating process continues inside an inverted copper vat. This conical design allows the whey to settle at the bottom, while the curd granules sink and form a compact mass, easy to collect without mechanical pressing. This method preserves the curd's integrity, keeping it firm and consistent, as required by Parmigiano-Reggiano standards. From each batch, about 300 to 350 liters of whey can be recovered. None of it goes to waste. It is reheated and used to produce ricotta, a fresh cheese commonly used in Italian cooking. In this way, nearly every nutrient in the milk is fully utilized. As most of the whey separates and settles, the curd begins to sink to the bottom of the vat, still submerged in warm whey. At this point, the cheesemaker quickly slips their hands into the liquid, gathering the entire curd mass into a large linen cloth and lifting it carefully to preserve its delicate structure. Without delay, the curd is cut in half and placed into stainless steel molds, marking the first step in shaping Parmesan's iconic form. Can you guess? At this stage, each fresh wheel weighs nearly 100 kilograms and will eventually shrink to around 38 to 40 kilograms after months of aging. During the first 24 hours, the cheese is still very soft and prone to deformation, so every step, from wrapping, molding, to pressing, must be performed swiftly and with absolute precision. After the cheese wheel is shaped and begins to stabilize in the mold, the cheesemaker performs a step that may seem small but is absolutely critical: imprinting the identity onto each wheel. This step determines whether a Parmesan wheel can be officially recognized and sold around the world. Interestingly, no modern printing or laser technology is used here. Instead, cheesemakers wrap a soft plastic belt, pre-embossed with details such as the dairy's registration number, production area code, and production date, tightly around the mold. Over the next few hours, under natural pressure, the outer rind of the cheese will memorize all this information, creating a permanent, raised mark on its surface. Without the need for labels or ink, just one glance reveals the wheel's full traceability, and the mark can never be erased or forged. After being imprinted with its identifying marks, each wheel of Parmesan is transferred into a concentrated brine bath, an essential first step in developing its final flavor and texture. The wheels are soaked for 18 to 20 days, during which they are turned regularly to ensure that the salt penetrates deeply and evenly from all sides, helping to form a natural rind and a dense, resilient interior. An interesting detail is that the brine is not replaced after every batch. Instead, it is continuously reused, with strict regular monitoring of salinity and hygiene levels. Over time, this aging brine develops a unique microflora, subtly contributing to the distinctive character that sets Parmesan apart. After completing the brining process, the Parmesan wheels are carefully sorted based on their production date and the identification codes embossed on their rind. From there, they enter the aging phase, stored in special warehouses where temperature, humidity, and airflow are controlled with near-perfect precision. The aging period lasts at least 12 months and can extend to 24 or even 36 months for premium wheels. To maintain quality throughout the aging process, each wheel is regularly turned, cleaned, and brushed using specialized machines. This not only allows the rind to dry and harden naturally, but also prevents mold buildup and protects the interior, like a routine maintenance schedule for every wheel. When the aging period ends, certified inspectors from the consortium assess each wheel. If it passes all quality checks, it is fire-branded with a red-hot stamp bearing the Parmigiano Reggiano name and DOP code. This fire mark is the final seal, a permanent symbol of authenticity and excellence that cannot be forged. Before being cut and packaged, each wheel of Parmesan passes through a specialized polishing machine. This machine uses high-speed rotating brushes to gently scrub the outer rind. After aging is complete, whole Parmesan wheels are moved into a specialized cutting chamber, where stainless steel blades are precisely designed to split each wheel in half without damaging the internal structure. Each half is then drilled with a small hole using a specialized tool to check the cheese's hardness, aroma, and internal consistency, key factors that determine its final quality. If the wheel meets all standards, it is further divided into blocks of 1 to 5 kilograms, or shredded or thinly sliced depending on market demand. Each piece is precisely weighed and labeled with full product information: production date, DOP region code, aging period, and traceability number. It is then vacuum sealed using modern air extraction machines to preserve freshness without the need for preservatives. Finally, the Parmesan packages go through a final check using weight sensors and X-ray scanners before being boxed, barcoded, and moved to cold storage, ready for distribution worldwide. So from now on, every time you enjoy a rich slice of Parmesan, you'll surely remember the incredible journey behind those golden wheels of cheese. If you found this video interesting and helpful, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and leave a comment to support our work. And remember, we still have many more special journeys ahead, where agricultural secrets, food technology, and amazing stories are waiting to be discovered. Did you know that over 1 billion horned warriors around the world are living like kings in the most advanced farms? With their rugged beards and majestic horns, goats are not just the stars of the farm, but also a rich source of creamy milk and high-protein meat. But have you ever wondered about the journey of goat-based products? From silky goat cheese to premium cuts of meat, every product undergoes a meticulous process in modern factories. Advanced technology, combined with expert craftsmanship, transforms these raw ingredients into world-class delicacies, ready to conquer dining tables across the globe. Today, join Agriculture Insight as we explore the extraordinary transformation of these horned warriors inside the world's most advanced processing facilities. Let's get started. Across peaceful fields, goats do more than just contribute to the economy. They bring an unmatched vibrancy to every farm. With their curious and agile nature, they are never still, constantly exploring the world in their own unique way, filling their surroundings with energy and mischief. Despite their small size and playful demeanor, goats are a true treasure to humanity. Few realize that these remarkable creatures generate over $13 billion annually for the global economy, from nutrient-rich milk and flavorful meat to essential everyday products. A massive value hidden behind a humble appearance. On the farm, goats no longer have to compete for grass in the fields, but are provided with a premium, well-balanced diet under strict control. Modern machinery harvests fresh grass, then chops, cleans, and evenly distributes it through an automatic feeding system. Each goat receives an equal portion, along with protein-rich pellets and natural minerals, all adjusted to their age and condition. This ensures optimal nutrition, keeping them healthy and strong. When the goats show signs of readiness for milking, they are brought to the milking area, where the process is carefully carried out using modern machinery to ensure the collection of fresh, nutrient-rich milk. Goats are gently secured on a platform to prevent movement and reduce stress. Before milking starts, an automatic feeding system provides snacks to keep the goats happy throughout the process. The goats' udders are then carefully cleaned and gently massaged to stimulate milk flow. The milking machines, equipped with soft silicone cups that mimic natural suckling, gently attach to the udders and begin extracting the milk. These high-tech milking machines operate quickly and efficiently, usually taking 5 to 10 minutes to milk each goat. In addition to traditional milking stalls, modern farms now use carousel-style milking systems, which allow multiple goats to be milked simultaneously with high precision and efficiency. The continuous rotation of the carousel ensures a fast, clean, and stress-free milking process. Once the milking is complete, the milk is transferred through stainless steel pipes into specialized storage tanks for processing. The first step is filtration, which removes impurities such as hair, dirt, or small particles. After filtration, the milk is rapidly chilled to around 4 degrees Celsius to prevent bacterial growth and maintain its fresh taste. After rigorous quality checks, the milk is transferred to large tanks, ready for the next stages of processing. One of the most popular goat milk products is cheese. The cheese-making process begins with pasteurizing the milk. There are 2 common pasteurization methods: quick pasteurization and slow pasteurization. Among them, slow pasteurization is preferred for its ability to retain the milk's natural flavor. This method involves heating the milk to 63 to 65 degrees Celsius for 30 minutes to kill bacteria without destroying essential nutrients. After pasteurization, the milk can be rapidly cooled to maintain its freshness, natural flavor, and nutritional value. It is then transferred to a sterile packaging line, where it is poured into plastic bottles or cartons to ensure food safety. Throughout this process, Every step takes place in a strictly controlled environment to prevent bacterial contamination. Once packaged, the milk is labeled with complete information about its origin, expiration date, and nutritional content before being stored in refrigerated warehouses. From there, it is transported under stable temperature conditions to stores, supermarkets, and distributors, ensuring the highest quality when it reaches consumers. If cheese is to be made, the milk undergoes further processing after pasteurization. Next, bacterial cultures, usually lactobacillus, are added to the milk. These bacteria convert lactose into lactic acid, causing the milk to curdle and develop its characteristic tangy flavor. Rennet, an enzyme from animal or plant sources, is then added to help the milk solidify into curds. This process typically takes 30 minutes to a few hours, depending on the type of cheese being produced. For certain types of blue-veined goat cheese, such as Blo de Chèvre or Monte Enambro, cheesemakers add a specific mold called Penicillium roqueforti at this stage. This mold grows throughout the aging process, creating the signature blue veins inside the cheese and developing a rich, slightly spicy flavor. Once the milk curdles, the curd is cut into smaller pieces using specialized tools. The size of the curds determines the final texture of the cheese. Smaller curds create firmer cheese, while larger curds result in softer cheese. The curds are then gently stirred to help separate the whey from the curds. This process usually takes 15 to 30 minutes. The whey is then drained and can be used for making other products like yogurt or butter. Once the curds reach the desired consistency, they are pressed into molds to create the final shape. For blue cheeses, the cheese is pierced with fine needles to allow air inside, encouraging the growth of Penicillium mold, which creates the distinctive blue veins and tangy flavor. The cheese is then soaked in a salt brine to enhance flavor and improve shelf life. After salting, the cheese is moved to an aging room with controlled temperature and humidity. Depending on the type of cheese, the aging process can last from a few days to several months or even years. In modern factories, goat cheese is packaged using advanced automated systems for efficiency and hygiene. After aging, it is cut to size, vacuum sealed or wrapped in wax paper, and labeled with product details. Finally, workers pack the cheese into cartons for storage and distribution, ensuring freshness and quality. Besides milk, goat meat is one of the most important red meats in the world. It has a lower fat content than beef and pork, but is rich in protein and essential minerals. In modern processing facilities, goat meat is processed through a professional and strictly controlled system to ensure the highest product quality and freshness. After entering the factory, goats undergo a professional processing procedure that combines modern technology with skilled craftsmanship. They are cleaned, then sequentially go through leg removal, skinning, and evisceration with the support of specialized tools. The process is fast, precise, and hygienic, ensuring fresh, high-quality meat for the next processing stages. After the organs have been removed, the carcass is moved to the washing station. A high-pressure water spraying system thoroughly cleans the surface of the goat, removing any remaining dirt, hair, or impurities. Once the goat carcass is fully cleaned, it is hung on racks to drain any excess water before being packaged. Depending on customer requirements, the goat can be packaged whole or cut into smaller portions, such as ribs, leg cuts, or loin. The meat is then vacuum sealed or placed in plastic packaging to maintain freshness and prevent contamination. The packaged goat meat is stored in cold storage at a controlled temperature of -18°C to -20°C. This freezing process helps preserve the color, flavor, and texture of the meat, ensuring it stays fresh for longer periods. After packaging, goat meat is transported by refrigerated trucks or airplanes to maintain the proper temperature. It is distributed to supermarkets, restaurants, and international markets, ensuring freshness and high quality. Thanks to a modern system, the meat reaches the market quickly while maintaining top standards. Hello friends. Picture this. A peaceful morning on a dairy farm in the heartland of America. The sun is just starting to peek over the horizon, casting a golden glow over the rolling fields, and the sound of cows mooing softly in the distance can be heard. Somewhere a farmer is sipping coffee, gearing up for another day of what I can only assume is one of the most utterly demanding jobs in the world: harvesting milk from cows. Yes, you read that right, harvesting milk. Because, as much as it might seem like magic when you grab a carton of milk from the grocery store, there's a whole lot of science, sweat, and very precise cow choreography that goes into getting that milk from the farm to your fridge. In 2023, American dairy farmers produced an astounding 102 million tons of milk. That's a lot of moo juice. But how exactly does this happen? Is there a secret cow whisperer involved? Or maybe even a cow gym where they work out their udders for maximum milk production? Spoiler alert, it's a lot more technical than that, but still just as fascinating. So grab a glass of cold milk, and let's dive into the modern marvel that is the American dairy farm. Early dairy farming was pretty basic. People milked cows by hand, and milk was consumed raw. Pasteurization hadn't been invented yet, so people just crossed their fingers and hoped for the best. Fast forward to the 1600s, when European settlers brought dairy cows to North America. These cows provided milk for small farming communities, and dairy farming began to take root in the New World. In the 1800s, as cities grew and industrialization took off, the demand for milk skyrocketed. However, transporting fresh milk from rural farms to urban centers was tricky, and spoilage was a common issue. Enter Louis Pasteur, the French scientist who, in the 1860s, developed the process pasteurization, which involves heating milk to kill harmful bacteria. This innovation revolutionized the milk industry, making it safer to consume and easier to transport. By the 20th century, dairy farming had become a major industry in the U.S. The introduction of refrigeration, along with advancements in transportation, allowed milk to be distributed across the country. Today, the U.S. is one of the largest milk producers in the world, and dairy farmers have embraced cutting-edge technology to milk more cows more efficiently than ever before. Back to the present, the dairy industry has changed a lot. First things first, let's talk about the stars of this dairy drama. The cows. Not just any cows, mind you. Dairy farms use specific breeds of cows that are known for their milk-producing prowess. The most popular breed in the U.S. is the Holstein, recognizable by its black and white patches that make it look like it just walked off the set of a children's cartoon. These cows are milk-making machines, producing an average of 6 to 7 gallons of milk a day. That's enough to fill around 112 glasses of milk, if you're keeping count. But these cows don't just magically produce milk on their own. They need to be cared for, well-fed, and most importantly, they need to become mothers first. Like most mammals, a cow produces milk only after giving birth to a calf. Once a cow has calved, she enters the milking rotation, and that's when the magic happens. It's milking time. Gone are the days of sitting on a little stool and milking a cow by hand, though, let's be honest, there's something charming about that image. On modern dairy farms, the process is far more streamlined and, well, industrial. The cows are brought into what's called a milking parlor, which sounds way fancier than it is. It's not a fancy parlor with velvet curtains and chandeliers, but rather a super efficient setup where cows can be milked quickly and comfortably. Here's the breakdown of what happens in the milking parlor. Before the milking begins, the cow's udders are cleaned and sanitized. You wouldn't want to drink milk that's been sloshed around in dirt, right? The udders are also given a quick massage, which stimulates milk flow. Yes, cows get massages. Try not to be jealous. Once the cow is prepped, a machine attaches suction cups to the cow's teats. These suction cups gently draw the milk from the cow's udder through tubes and into a collection system. Milk flows through a series of pipes and into a large refrigerated storage tank. This milk is then kept cool until it's ready to be transported to a processing plant. Fun fact, the milk never touches human hands during this whole process, which is pretty impressive when you think about it. Some farms are even high-tech enough to use robotic milking machines. These robots let the cows decide when they want to be milked, and the cows can stroll up to the machine whenever they're feeling the need for a little relief. The machine identifies each cow by a sensor attached to her collar and goes to work. After the milking session is over, the cows are sent back out to pasture or into comfortable barns where they can relax, eat, and chew their cud, which is cow speak for re-chewing their food. Cows need to eat a lot to keep up with their milk production, so their diet is carefully monitored. They're fed a mix of hay, silage, which is basically fermented grass, grains, and other nutrients to make sure they stay healthy and strong. And then the cycle repeats. The cows are typically milked 2 to 3 times a day, depending on the farm. Between each session, they're living their best cow lives, grazing, napping, and occasionally plotting to escape. Okay, maybe not the last part, but cows are smarter than we give them credit for. After the milk is collected, it's far from over. The milk needs to be processed before it can hit the shelves of your local grocery store. Here's what happens next. First, the milk is transported from the farm to a processing plant in large, insulated tanker trucks. These trucks are like giant thermoses, keeping the milk cool to prevent spoilage. At the processing plant, the milk goes through pasteurization, a process that heats the milk to a specific temperature to kill any harmful bacteria. This ensures that when you chug a glass of milk, you're not also chugging a cocktail of germs. Next, the milk is homogenized. This is a fancy way of saying that the fat in the milk is broken down so it doesn't separate and form a layer of cream on top. Though let's be real, some people love that old school cream on top milk. Finally, the milk is bottled, packaged, and shipped out to stores. And voila! That gallon of milk you grabbed from the fridge section at your local supermarket started its journey in a cow's udder just a few days ago. Milk is big business in America. In fact, the dairy industry is a multi-billion-dollar industry, contributing significantly to the economy. Dairy farms provide jobs, not only for the farmers themselves, but also for the workers who help with everything from feeding the cows to maintaining equipment. Then there are the truck drivers, plant workers, and grocery store employees who all play a part in getting milk to your table. But the economic impact of dairy doesn't stop at just milk. There's a whole world of dairy products out there. Cheese, butter, yogurt, ice cream that Americans consume with gusto. Cheese alone is a $45 billion industry in the US. And let's not even get started on how much ice cream Americans eat every year. Spoiler, it's a lot. Dairy farms are also vital to rural economies. Many of these farms are family-owned and have been passed down through generations. In a lot of small towns, the dairy farm is the backbone of the local economy, providing jobs and supporting other businesses. Milk is more than just a beverage in America. It's a cultural icon. Milk has long been a symbol of wholesomeness and health. It's the stuff of childhood memories, the thing you pour over your cereal, and the key ingredient in a comforting glass of chocolate milk after a long day. Milk is also tied to some very specific American traditions. Take, for instance, milk and cookies. Whether it's leaving out a plate for Santa on Christmas Eve or just indulging in a snack after school, there's something quintessentially American about dunking a cookie into a glass of cold milk. Then there's the milkshake, a symbol of 1950s diners and teenage rebellion. You can't picture classic Americana without imagining a group of kids in a booth, sipping on milkshakes with whipped cream and cherries on top. So there you have it. The journey of milk from the udder to your kitchen and all the ways it impacts both the economy and culture. Harvesting 102 million tons of milk a year is no small feat, and it's a process that involves a lot more than just a cow and a bucket. It's a testament to modern technology, hard work, and, let's face it, a little bit of cow magic. The next time you pour yourself a glass of milk, take a moment to think about the incredible journey that milk has taken to get to you. It's a process that involves farmers, cows, machines, and a whole lot of dedication. And while it might seem like just a simple drink, milk is so much more than that. It's a symbol of hard work, tradition, and yes, a little bit of fun. So here's to the humble cow, the hard-working farmer, and the glass of milk that brings it all together. Cheers! Don't forget to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel to get notified when our exciting videos go. When you think of bees, what comes to mind? That's right, you probably think of honey, liquid gold that nature gives. But have you ever seen this enticing, creamy white substance? It's packed with nutrients and is 100 times more expensive than honey. It's called royal jelly, the finest essence harvested from bees. Each bee colony produces only about 15 ounces a year, making just 1 ounce of this liquid worth $100. It is called royal because, historically, especially in Asia, only royalty had access to royal jelly. However, with modern technology, millions of bee colonies are raised all over the world. Royal jelly is becoming more common in everyday life. In the next part of this video, join me as we delve into how farmers produce this royal substance. Royal jelly is the food that the queen bee eats throughout her life. A large bee colony can have between 50,000 to 80,000 bees. Only the most powerful bee, the queen bee, has the right to rule. The queen bee's main job is reproduction. She lays thousands of eggs daily at peak times. The survival of the bee colony heavily depends on the queen because without her, the colony would not thrive. People often think royal jelly is a product secreted by the queen bee. In fact, it's not. Royal jelly is made by hard-working worker bees. It's the exclusive food for the queen bee and her larvae. Farmers intervene in the bee colony to temporarily remove the queen and place larvae in artificial cells, tricking worker bees into thinking they are nurturing the future queen, prompting them to produce royal jelly. Royal jelly production season typically lasts from spring to late summer, when flowers bloom and bees have ample food. During this time, worker bees can be active and produce royal jelly regularly. Beekeepers prepare artificial hives, special structures designed to replace natural beehives for easier harvesting of royal jelly. Each artificial hive typically includes a frame with several small cells, known as cup cells. These cells mimic the natural cells in a hive where the queen lays her eggs and raises larvae. The process starts with selecting larvae less than 3 days old from the natural hive. These larvae are then transferred to the cup cells in the artificial hive. The worker bees then begin to produce royal jelly and nourish these larvae as if preparing for a new queen's arrival. To enhance efficiency, beekeepers may use additional techniques like adding wax sheets or safe synthetic materials to shape the cup cells. These artificial cells need to be arranged to ensure optimal space for worker bees to work and produce royal jelly. Typically, each cell is spaced about 1 centimeter apart. In each artificial cell, usually only one larva is placed to ensure that worker bees focus all their resources on nurturing that larva with royal jelly. About 10 to 20 worker bees directly care for and secrete royal jelly for each larva throughout the nurturing process. Besides producing royal jelly, worker bees also have the primary task of collecting nectar. On average, worker bees can work 10 to 12 hours a day. Worker bees often fly within a range of 1.5 to 3 kilometers from their hive to collect nectar and pollen. The division of labor among worker bees in the hive is very flexible, with different bees participating in tasks such as collecting pollen, nectar, caring for the hive, and secreting royal jelly. This ensures that each larva receives a plentiful and high-quality supply of royal jelly. About 3 days after the worker bees start feeding the larvae, the royal jelly is ready for harvesting, which is when it has reached its peak quality. If left too long, the worker bees will stop secreting royal jelly, and the larvae will begin to develop into queens or mature bees. Beekeepers then remove the artificial hives from the main hive. Using specialized tools, they gently detach the larvae from each cell. These larvae are typically not used in royal jelly production. The main goal is to collect the jelly. Royal jelly is harvested directly from the cells using small tools, often tweezers. Beekeepers must handle the jelly delicately to avoid contamination or damage. Royal jelly is a slightly thick white to pale yellow liquid, depending on the quality of the bee colony. Each artificial cell usually contains about 0.1 to 0.2 grams of royal jelly. However, when harvested on a large scale from hundreds to thousands of cells, the amount of royal jelly collected can be substantial. An artificial hive can be reused about 10 to 15 times in one season. Each cycle involves removing the old larva and inserting a new one. After harvesting, royal jelly must be immediately preserved in cool conditions, refrigerated or frozen, to maintain quality during transport to the factory. After harvesting, royal jelly needs to be stored under strict conditions to ensure quality. Royal jelly is very sensitive to light and high temperatures. It oxidizes, loses color, and degrades in quality. Thus, it must be stored in opaque or dark-colored jars or containers to avoid direct light exposure. Refrigeration is the most common preservation method. Royal jelly should be kept at temperatures from 2 to 5 degrees Celsius in the refrigerator. At this temperature, royal jelly can maintain its quality for about 6 months. Freezing. To further extend its shelf life, royal jelly can be frozen at temperatures from -18 degrees Celsius to -20 degrees Celsius. When stored in the freezer, royal jelly can retain its quality for up to 1 to 2 years without degradation. Before use, it can be slowly thawed in the refrigerator to preserve its nutrients. Upon arrival at the factory, royal jelly undergoes strict quality checks. Samples are tested for color, taste, purity, and physical chemical indicators such as moisture content, protein levels, and nutrients. Microbiological testing is also crucial to ensure the royal jelly is free from contamination. Harvested royal jelly may contain impurities such as beeswax, small hive debris, or other contaminants. It is filtered through special filters to remove these impurities. After coarse filtration, royal jelly undergoes a refining stage. This may involve deeper filtration processes to achieve the highest purity, removing all impurities and harmful microorganisms. In some cases, royal jelly may be treated with low-heat pasteurization to kill bacteria without losing essential nutrients. However, this process must be carefully controlled, as high temperatures can damage the nutrients in royal jelly. After filtration and refining, royal jelly is packaged in sterile plastic or glass containers. These containers must be vacuum sealed or airtight to prevent oxidation and preserve royal jelly in the best condition. In addition to direct packaging, royal jelly is also processed into pills and dietary supplements. First, the royal jelly is spread evenly on large trays, then put into a freezer at -20 degrees Celsius for 12 hours. At which point the royal jelly will freeze into large pieces. The royal jelly chunks are put into a grinder that turns them into powder. The royal jelly powder is then put into a press to form tablets. These tablets are packed in glass bottles of 100 tablets each. Thousands of bottles of tablets have been packaged with beautiful packaging. Finally, they are packaged into large crates, shipped ready for export to consumers around the world. Thank you for taking the time to watch this entire video. And now you understand how farmers produce millions of liters of royal jelly. Would you like to try using royal jelly yourself? Don't hesitate to comment if you have any questions. Please like, comment, and subscribe to motivate me to create more informative videos. See you in the next video.